welcome back to Taste Like Home. My name is Tash. On this episode we're going to be learning how to cook chicken noodle soup. Perfect for a nice winter's day when you want to rock up. I'm just going to go through our ingredients and what we're going to be needing to make it today. We've got our diced chicken. We've got some thick egg pasta. This is my choice of noodles, but you can use any type of noodle you prefer. We've got minced garlic. I've got some herbs here and some thyme and oregano. You can also use some parsley for garnish, which I have here on the side. I've got some onion, some celery and some carrot. And then just in our jug here, I've got my chicken stock mixed with hot water. I've got salt and pepper to taste. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, now to get started with our chicken noodle soup, we're going to start with our onions. So we're going to make sure our pan is nice and hot. We've got a little bit of oil in there. I've got mine ready to go. I can see the smoke coming, so I know it's hot. So we want to get our diced onion when you're ready, and we want to pour it into our pan. If yours is a bit hotter than mine is, you'll be able to hear a bit more of a sizzle, which is what you want to hear when it goes in. So I'm going to turn mine up briefly just to make sure it's nice and hot. And then we want to make sure it's on a medium heat, so we won't want to cook it off too quickly. Because now while our onion is in there and starting to cook, I'm going to add our minced garlic in. I'm also going to add our herbs. I've got thyme and oregano here. So I'm going to add these in now and mix them around with our onion. The reason we do that is, especially in the heat, we want to cook off our spices. And the longer that we have our onion cooking with our garlic and our spices, the more flavour it will get. So beautiful. I'm starting to hear that sizzle that you want to hear. I'll turn it slightly down now. And for about a minute or two, we'll just leave our onions to cook and our spices to cook off. Okay, so I've been mixing up our onion with our herbs and garlic for about 2 minutes or so. We can see that they're slowly starting to brown. So at this stage is when we want to add the chicken. I'm going to use a bit more oil in here. Make sure that it's well seasoned. Again, if you have a non-stick pan, you won't need so much oil, depending on the type of pan you are using or pot you're using. So I'm going to add my chicken in now. Being careful I don't touch the raw chicken. Just want to make sure if you do end up touching the chicken that you go and wash your hands afterwards. We don't want to contaminate anything with salmonella. And now mix that around with the onion and the herbs, making sure it's got a medium heat. We'll let that cook before tossing it a few times on each side. We want to make sure our chicken is cooked through and it is white on each side when we're done. So you want to leave it, let it cook through, and we'll just leave that for a few minutes. Okay, so now we can see that our chicken is starting to brown, it's starting to caramelize along with our onions. That garlic is starting to give it a really nice brown and golden tone. So we want to make sure that the chicken's not fully cooked through yet, but it's just started to brown, and that's when we're going to add our other veggies. So even turning it down to a low to medium heat, we don't want to overcook our veggies too much. The more that you cook your veggies, the more nutritional value that we lose out of our vegetables. So we want to make sure we don't cook our vegetables for too long, but that they're still nice and soft for our soup. So we'll give that a bit of a stir around. And I'd say cook for another 2 to 3 minutes in your pan. Okay, so now as you can see, we've let our celery and our carrot cook a little bit. You can see it's all nicely becoming soft a bit. I don't want it to become too soft because I don't want it to lose all of its nutritional value. But we can see the chicken is quite well cooked throughout, and we don't want it to overcook or get too dry. So what I'm going to do at this stage is I'm going to transfer it to a plate, because I want to get a pot and I want to bring my chicken stock and my water to a boil. And then we're going to get our noodles to cook. So I'll just put this over to our plate over here, as you do. Perfect. So we can just leave that to the side, that's alright there. And then what I'm going to do is I'll go get our chicken stock and our water, and I'll go put that on a high heat because we want to get that up and boiling quickly. Okay, so now we've let our carrots and our celery cook down a bit. We can see that they're getting nice and soft. Our chicken is well cooked through. We don't want to cook it for too long because we don't want it to dry out, and it's still going to go into our chicken stock and cook a little bit in the soup. So what we're going to do at this stage is I want to transfer our chicken and our vegetables onto a plate. I'm going to use a little bit of our stock that we've got, and I'm going to deglaze the pan and get all of our nice flavours around from the pan, and then I'm going to use that and add it into a pot with the rest of our chicken stock and water, and that will make up our soup. So I'll just transfer this over. Don't worry too much about getting everything, because we're going to make sure that we deglaze the pan anyway. So if there's little bits of onion left over, don't worry too much about that. So what I'll do is now, making sure it's on a very low heat or even taking it off heat, I'm just going to use a little bit of our chicken stock. Make sure we get around our pan. You can use your spatula, get around the corners. You can make a little bit of a mess like I did too. And then what we're going to do is, with the remaining chicken stock and water, we're going to go put that into a pot and put that up on high heat. So I'll just go and do that and I'll be back. Okay, so now as you can see, I've got the remaining chicken stock and water into a pot. I've got it on high heat. It's going to be boiling away in a moment. And what I'm going to do is, with our deglazed pan over here, make sure we've got all of our flavours from around, and we're just going to pour that into our pot. Make sure we got all those juices and onion and herbs and spices. Perfect. Okay, so what we want to do, making sure this is on a high heat, that's boiling, that's okay. We want to get our egg noodles or egg pasta that we've got here, and we're going to put it into our chicken stock. And so what we're going to do is, we're going to let the pasta cook in the chicken stock for about 6 to 7 minutes or so. My packet says about 10 minutes, but what we're going to do is that remaining 3 minutes, we'll add our remaining chicken and vegetables in, and we'll let it all cook together to really get all the flavours together. So I'll put that in, maybe a little bit more gently next time, making a mess as usual, and then making sure that goes deep into the water and it's all covered. If you have a lid, you can put a lid on, it might speed up the process, and we're just going to let that cook for about 6 to 7 minutes in that stock. We'll come back and see how it goes. Okay, so my timer for 6 minutes has just gone off. I can see that my pasta is just starting to get a little bit softer now. It's not fully there yet. About this stage, this is where I want to add the rest of my chicken and vegetables in. So, however you want to do it, I'm making sure I do this carefully. You want to make sure that you have enough time to let all the vegetables and the chicken cook together, and that's why it's really going to get that flavour in there. So making sure you get as much flavour as you can off your plate as well when you're putting it in. Okay. I'm going to use my spoon for this last bit. You can even get a little bit on your plate and make sure you can get it all off there. There you go. You just want to stir that all around, and then I want to cook it for at least another 3 to 4 minutes, making sure all the flavours and everything mix together, and after that time your pasta will be cooked and it should be ready to serve. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes now. I can see that my pasta is nice and soft. Everything's boiling away really well, so I'm going to turn it down now. This is when you want to try and taste it and see if it needs any more salt or pepper. If you've got any chopped parsley with you as well, you can add that on top as garnish. I really like that as flavour. If you've got a soup label or a spoon or anything, this is the best bit. You can get it out and you can see it all come to life. And try and not make a mess when you put it into the bowl like me. That's okay. Have fun with your food. I like to make a mess. I'm going to see if my cafe mentor Jen is available to help me taste it and let me know how I did. Jen, would you like to come out?
Absolutely. Got my spoon ready. This smells delicious.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wouldn't have been able to do it without your help and advice. There's some spoons.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me know how I did. Jen was my mentor in the cafe for over 4 years and taught me everything I know.
Yeah, delicious.
Delicious, thank
Well
you.
done.